The price of your morning coffee is about to go up.
Well, like other foods, the cost of coffee has gone through the roof on
What that means for the cost of coffee.
Right. Your coffee just got robbed. Not the beans, the box. Martin Lewis called it duplicitous on the 14th of April 2026. And if you drink Mokate, you have already paid for it. I'm going to show you 3 things in this case file. 1, the exact Mokate box Martin Lewis flagged last week and how the 10 sachets quietly became 9. 2, the 9 other UK coffee brands I scanned in Tesco, Sainsbury's and Asda this week that are doing the same sneaky move. And 3, the 1 label trick. It's a little number on the shelf that tells you in 2 seconds if a coffee is ripping you off. Stick around for that last one. You will use it on your next shop. This is Economical case file number 15, Duplicitous coffee shrinkflation. The target is your kitchen cupboard. The culprits are the FMCG brands who think you are too tired to count sachets. Let's open the file. Quick honest confession. Last Saturday, I made my usual morning coffee, Mokate Gold Premium Latte Caramel, the box with the sachets. I reached in for a sachet, grabbed one, and thought the box felt, I don't know, a bit light. I checked the count, 9. I thought I'd used one and forgotten. So I bought a fresh box, opened it, counted, 9 sachets. I went back to the shelf. The old boxes I had at home said 10 sachets on the front. The new one said 9. Same box size, same price, just 1 sachet, gone. Then, on the 14th of April 2026, Martin Lewis named the exact same product on his platform. He called it duplicitous. His words, not mine. He said brands are trying to pretend it doesn't happen and they hope you won't notice. I did notice. You probably did too. You just couldn't prove it. So I spent 4 days in 3 supermarkets proving it. Here is what I found. Mokate Gold Premium Latte Caramel went from 10 sachets to 9 sachets per box. Price on Tesco, as of April 2026, unchanged. That is a 10% stealth price rise. 10%. And Mokate is not alone. I checked 10 coffee brands in the UK coffee aisle this month. Nescafe Azera Americano, an earlier version of this tin, sat at 100 grams. The new tin is 90 grams. Same tin shape, same price zone. Nestle quietly trimmed 10 grams off. Folgers, yes, you can find it in Ocado and specialist stores. The US parent pack shrunk from 51 ounces to 43.5 ounces. The company said it was new technology. Call it what you want. Less coffee, same pound sign. Then there are the sachet brands hiding in plain sight. Douai Egbert's Cafe Test Pods, Kenko Millicano sachets, some own-label cappuccino packs at Asda and Sainsbury's have quietly dropped from 8 sachets to 7 or 10 to 9 over the last 18 months. I have the shelf photos and I have the trolley.co.uk price history backing it up. Bottom line, if you drink instant or sachet coffee in the UK, there is a real chance you are paying the same money for about 10% less product. That is not inflation, that is shrinkflation. And as Martin Lewis said, they hope you won't notice. Now, here is the frustrating bit. Shrinkflation on its own is not illegal. A brand is allowed to sell you 9 sachets instead of 10 as long as the front of the box is accurate and the unit price is on the shelf. That's where the Price Marking Order 2004, as amended by the PMO 2024 and PMO 2025, comes in. It takes full effect on the 6th of April 2026. Under this rule, retailers must show a clear unit price per 100 grams, per kilogram, per 100 milliliters for an expanded list of categories, and yes, that now includes more beverage categories. If the unit price jumps while the headline price stays still, you can see the trick, but only if you look. The Competition and Markets Authority, the CMA, also has new powers under the Digital Markets, Competition and Consumers Act 2024, which came into force in April 2025. That law bans drip pricing and misleading pricing practices. Shrinkflation with no clear unit price update could, in some cases, cross that line. The CMA can now fine firms up to 10% of global turnover. That is not pocket change. That is boardroom panic money. Quick question, and I really want to know, drop this in the comments. 1, I noticed 2. 2, I had no idea. 3, I don't care. Coffee is coffee. Pick one. The team reads every comment, and honestly, it shapes the next case file. Here's the tool I promised you. I'm calling it the shrink stamp. Every time you pick up a coffee box, any brand, any supermarket, do 3 things. 1, look at the sachet count or the weight on the front. 2, look at the tiny unit price sticker on the shelf. That sticker is a law, not a favor, under the price marking order. 3, compare the unit price to last month or to the brand next to it. If the headline price looks the same, but the unit price has climbed, you have just caught a shrink stamp. That is shrinkflation in the wild. You now have evidence. Use this on 3 products in your next shop. Coffee, cereal, biscuits. I'm willing to bet at least one of them has grown a shrink stamp in the last 6 months. To be fair, I'll give the industry their say. The British Retail Consortium, the BRC, argues that grocery operating margins are thin, around 1.8%, and that brands have absorbed huge cost hikes on energy, coffee beans, and shipping before passing anything to shoppers. Coffee bean prices have been wild in the past 2 years. That is real, but here is the issue. There is a transparent way to pass costs. You raise the price, you say why, you take the hit with the customer, and there is a duplicitous way. You shrink the pack, keep the price, and hope nobody counts. Martin Lewis used that word for a reason. One is honest business. The other is, well, a bit sneaky. Now the bit that actually saves you money. You asked for the buy this instead moment, and here it is. If you drink Mokate caramel latte sachets, Aldi's own label caramel latte sachets, in my March 2026 fieldwork, came in at roughly half the per sachet price. Same 10 sachets per box, no shrink, taste test, and I tried both back to back at my kitchen table. Honestly, 90% of the flavor at 50% of the cost. If you drink Nescafe Azera Americano, Lidl's Bellarum Gold Crema tin is the direct swap. Same instant premium feel, much lower unit price. If you drink Kenko Millicana or Dulce Eggbet Sachets, either Tesco Finest or Sainsbury's Taste the Difference do a very similar product, or the Aldi Specially Selected Instant Range, use trolley.co.uk, it's free, and compare the unit price per 100 grams, not the headline price. The unit price, that is the number that tells the truth. One swap a week. Say you save £2.50 on coffee alone. That is £10 a month. £120 a year. A weekend away on coffee. I'll take it. So to wrap up this case file, the fact is this. Brands are shrinking your coffee and keeping the price. The evidence is Mokate dropping from 10 sachets to 9, Nescafe Azera from 100 grams to 90, and at least 8 other brands I caught on the shelf. The law is the Price Marking Order 2026, effective from the 6th of April this year, and the Digital Markets Competition and Consumers Act 2024, giving the CMA real teeth. The solution is the shrink stamp check and a simple switch to own label or discount alternatives using trolley.co.uk. Martin Lewis was right to call it duplicitous because it is, and the only reason it keeps working is because we are tired, we are busy, and nobody teaches us to read a unit price label. Well, now you can. Next week's case file is already open. We follow the same shrink trick into the biscuit aisle, and I promise you, what McVitie's has done to a classic pack will annoy you on a personal level. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it. This case file stays open. I'm Jude, and this is Economical Case Files.